everyone, it's Mari here for Honeybee Stamps. I'm going to be making this sweet happy birthday card for you today using the Shoreline Scene Builder and Waves Pierced A2 cover plate. I'm going to be starting off here with some Speckled Egg and Unchartered Mariner oxide inks with my stamping block. I'm going to just stamp out a little bit of that ink onto my block. I'm going to add some water to the ink, and then I'm going to press that ink into a piece of watercolor paper. I'm using some Ranger watercolor paper here on my desk. I love this paper because it's nice and bright white. You can just see that ink now is all bubbled up on my block. I'm just going to flip it over and lay that down onto my paper. My paper is going to absorb the ink and the water, and I'm just going to get this really dreamy looking piece that's going to be the perfect background for my card today. I'm going to just repeat those steps again with a little bit more ink on the left side of my block when I flip it over, just to strengthen and darken up the ink over on that side. And this is what I'm left with. I'm just taking a baby wipe and wiping up some of the excess ink here a little bit, just to control the pigment a little bit wherever I want it to be more or less dark. And now I'll just go ahead and let that dry. And in the meantime, I'm going to die cut out some pieces from this Shoreline Scene Builder die set. I love this die set. It is so fun for creating some cool little scenes. I'm using some craft paper through my Bitty Buzz cutter here, and I'm going to cut out some sand. I'm going to cut out a palm tree, and I am going to use some oxide inks to colorize some of these pieces. I used a little bit of bundled sage on my palm tree. I also used a little bit of gathered twigs on the base of the palm tree as well. I'm just going to cut out a sun for my scene and some of the beach grass as well. And these pieces are also going to get a little bit of color added to them with my Distress Oxide inks as well. I just used a little bit of antique linen. I'm using my detailed blending brushes from Honeybee Stamps to add the color, using my waffle flower mat here, my waffle flower stencil mat, to help me just with holding those different little pieces in place while I add the color. And you could definitely cut these from colored cardstock if you want, or whatever. But if you don't have that perfect color of cardstock, but you do have inks, you can always add some inks to your die cut pieces to create the perfect color for your project. So just adding the ink to these pieces of paper. I did the same thing with the palm tree. Used the exact same method here as I'm using for the beach grass and also the little sun that I die cut out. And those die cuts again are all from that Shoreline Scene Builder die set. I'm using my Tim Holtz decal edge trimmer to create a little bit of a decal edge on that watercolor piece. And I've also used the pierced A2 cover plate, that's the Waves. And I love the texture that this adds. You can just see this wavy kind of dreamy background that is just perfect for my project. I'm going to add that to A2 size card base here. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of foam adhesive on the back of my watercolor piece. I'll pop that up with that foam adhesive in that way and add that onto that wavy A2 pierced cover plate piece on my card front. So I'm just going to size each of these different pieces of foam adhesive down until I have that entire background covered. You can purchase this foam adhesive on the Honeybee shop. It is fantastic. I really love it. I love that it's a little bit wider. It is really easy to add some dimension to your project with that foam adhesive. So now you can see that card front is all finished. Now I'm going to start adding those little die cut pieces to create my little beachy scene here. I'm going to add the sand. I added a little bit of that gathered twigs to the little sand dune just around the edges, just to create a little bit of depth with that piece. And that is going to suffice for the little bit of sand in that area. I also die cut out another little sand dune. I'll show you that later. And I'm going to add that to my project as well. There's my little sun. And I also die cut out a little cloud piece from the Scene Builder set. I'm going to add that just kind of slightly over my sun. And I am also adding a little bit of my seagrass or my beach grass. You can just see here that beach grass is just going to get tucked in behind the sand dune a little bit, and also at the base of my palm tree. I love all of the different dies that are included in that Shoreline Scene Builder set. There's tons, and you could add a little sailboat, you could add some seabirds, so many different things. You could add a little beach fence, whatever you'd like. This is an E55 Copic marker. I use that just to add some little grains of sand on my little sand dunes. Here you can see I also cut another little piece from the dies to be another sand dune at the bottom of my little scene. I'm just adding a little bit of my Honeybee Stamps Precision Glue. I'm using my tweezers from Honeybee just to help me place things, and that will finish off this sweet little scene here. I really love the Honeybee Liquid Shimmer Watercolor. It's a really fun product to add just a little bit of sparkle and shine if you'd like to your project. I have a wet watercolor brush here, and I'm just picking up a little bit of that product. I'm just splattering that onto my scene, and it's just going to add the most beautiful sparkle and shine. This sentiment is from the Foil Script Wishes set. That is a combination of dies and foil plates that's sold together. It's a set, so you get all of the different, there's I think 6 different sentiments in that set, which is awesome. You get the 6 foil plates and the 6 coordinating dies. This one of course says happy birthday. I'm just using my Honeybee craft tool here, craft pick, just to add a little bit of dimensional adhesive on the back of that to pop it up. That's going to complete my card today, friends. I have linked up to all of the different products that I've used in this process in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon.